Tara. With so many choices, it ain't easy. Get the bang for your buck, give your dollar a squeezy. The girl's got the answer, you better believe me. Take it from Tara. Take it from Tara. Take it from Tara. Take it from Tara.
And this show is brought to you by Carla Wallace for An Act of Dog. Welcome to Take It From Tara. Korean Hetty, thank you for that beautiful jingle. I like to thank you every single week because I could never pay enough money to have that jingle written specifically for my show. I'm so proud and so happy of it. Please welcome Mark Southard and Dan Boone. They are our musical guests for today, and we are so grateful to them for coming in and playing under while we talk, and then they're going to do some actual tunes for you. And Mark's going to sing, and it's going to be fantastic. So we're grateful that they're here. What a great lineup of guests we have tonight. Colonel Laura Tucker, CEO of Girl Scouts of Kentuckiana, is in the studio, and she's brought samples. We have Girl Scout cookies in here. Kathy Schmidt of the Crescent Hill Trading Company. Julian Wright, intern extraordinaire from my WBKI Louisville Live days, has returned from covering his second presidential inauguration in Washington, and he isn't even legal to vote yet. Well, maybe he just turned 18. But anyway, I'm so excited to have Julian with us tonight. And our legal expert, Shannon Favre, is going to be discussing bankruptcy right after we interview our little musicians for just a few minutes. Okay, Mark and Dan, fade out. Yeah. These are well-trained musicians. How are you guys?
Doing good.
I'm so glad. And Mark surprised me. Mark Southard is a buddy of mine who agreed to come in and play. And then he said, is there room for a mandolin player? And we said, absolutely. And here comes Dan Boone, who used to be my physical therapist. So what do you know?
We love it.
They're also men of few words, and I'm not counting on filling any blank time with these guys because really they express themselves best through music. But I do want to know what you're calling yourselves as a duet. Do you have a name for you?
We're the Cheaters.
The Cheaters. What did that originate from?
Well, it's kind of provocative, but actually we need our glasses to be able to see anything. And we became the Cheaters. That's
pretty good, actually. So where can we normally find you guys playing? Because I know I've heard you at the Back Door and several other places around town.
The Back Door, Douglas Loop Farmers Market was our home, during the warm days and hours. And we came on early, about 9 o'clock in the morning, and played till the first act came on. But other than that, we're looking for a new home, and we just kind of practice around.
Good. Well, you've come to the right place because, of course, Crescent Hill Radio features local music, local musicians and regional musicians, and Kathy Weisbeck does a great job of promoting them. And I guess if I ask C.J. Cumberland or Christy with Homegrown Radio Hour or some of the others, if they need a musical act, I can throw your name out.
Well, heck yeah.
Okay, heck yeah. That sounds like a really good plan. Now, we got to talk a little bit about another instrument that I don't see, and I'm not sure if you brought it, but I know you have a mad love affair with the ukulele. When did that start?
I do. It started about 3 years ago, and we go up to the Ukulele World Congress up in Needmore, Indiana.
Did you know there was a Ukulele World Congress,
no
Shannon Favre?
It's the first weekend in June, and I've always enjoyed it. I just didn't know, maybe 10 years ago, what it was. I was trying to learn a Beatle tune, and I tried to capo this guitar everywhere I could, but
it was ukulele.
It was a ukulele.
Isn't that amazing? Do you by any chance know the name Jeannie Cicilline from Oregon?
I do not.
Well, she is a famous ukulele player, and she actually toured the world with me singing USO when we were much younger. But now she is traveling all over playing the ukulele. So I've got to hook you two up.
Bring her on.
You would love her. She's fantastic. She's a lot of fun. Dan, let's talk to you for just a minute. What do you do in your daytime life?
I'm a physical therapist.
Lean up towards the mic just a little bit.
I'm a physical therapist at Mercy Sacred Heart Village.
You, of all people, should know that posture is important, physical therapist. So good for you. You're working.
We're not getting paid for this.
Sacred Heart Village is a great place. Thank you for being a physical therapist there. I love that. That's wonderful. Mark, when you take off the Clark Kent of the day and go into Super Mark singing and dancing and music mode at night, you're pretty awesome. But tell people what you do during the day, because it's pretty interesting.
Well, I work for MSD, and I just make sure everything's going downhill. everybody's happy.
And that's an important thing.
It's hard to do sometimes.
That's a very important job. Thank you for being an excellent member of the MSD team to keep everything flowing downhill. We really like that. Okay. Give us a little tune. Well, you going to do this one together?
We are.
All right, let's hear it for the Cheaters, Mark Southard and Dan Boone.
They say everything can be replaced, and every distance is not near. So I remember every face of every man that's put me here. I see my light come shining from the west down to the east. Any day now, any way now, I shall be released.
Absolutely love that sound. Mark Southard and Dan Boone, the Cheaters. They're going to be playing for us a little bit more as the time goes on. We thank them very much for being with us today to provide music throughout the hour. And the bankruptcy expert is up next, Shannon Favre, attorney. But first, we want to thank Carla Wallace for her sponsorship of An Active Dog via Take It From Tara. Thanks, Carla. Mark Baroni is on a mission. The artist is well on his way to painting the portraits of 5,500 dogs who have been euthanized in shelters across America as a way to symbolize the number of dogs who lose their lives in shelters every single day. Mark and his partner Marina Dervin have dedicated their lives to creating An Active Dog, and we invite you to see this incredibly poignant exhibit with us on February 7th, 5 to 7 p.m. at Melwood Arts Center, 1860 Melwood Avenue. Find out how you can support the permanent installation of An Active Dog in Louisville, sponsored by Carla Wallace.
See somebody walking down the street, hanging head and shuffling their feet. Don't take much to see what they've been thinking of. What puts a tear in your eye? What makes you hypnotized? What makes you have to choose? What brings you the blues? Ah, little thing called love. Ah, little thing called love. Only love puts a tear in your eye. Only love makes you hypnotized. Only love makes you choose. Only love brings you the blues.
Love the Cheaters, Mark Southard and Dan Boone with us right now, and we're going to be hearing more from them throughout the hour. So thank you, guys. That was beautiful. Who was that artist? Who wrote that?
That was Neil Young tune, about 1982.
Gosh, you've got some of the greatest music, and you love to play the really old good stuff. Thank you.
Thank you, Tara.
I love it. All right, Shannon Favre, thank you for waiting patiently for us. You practice many areas of law, but we got a few questions this week, and I want to ask them of you because the economy has kind of driven a lot of people into a bad financial cycle, and bankruptcy is a really present concern for a lot of folks.
Yes, it's becoming more prevalent across the spectrum. I have other attorneys file with me. Doctors are now filing.
Wow.
Car salesmen. Anybody can file bankruptcy now.
Wow, that is really scary. And I guess there are big differences between like a corporate bankruptcy with a business and a personal bankruptcy, but there are a whole bunch of different types. So how do we know which one we're going to file? Chapter 7, Chapter 11, Chapter 13, they all mean something different, and they're all Greek to me.
Well, Chapter 11 is for business.
Okay.
7 or 13 is for a person or people. And what you do actually is what I have them do is I generally have them come in and we go over it, because even though we get paid more for Chapter 13, Chapter 7 lets them start over again, so we try to push everybody into that if they can do it that way.
Okay, so describe what does it mean to start over again? What does a Chapter 7 mean for somebody who's just at the end of their rope and they can't do it anymore?
Okay. When you come in and bring all the paperwork, the things you cannot bankrupt are student loans, child support, taxes, and if you commit a crime on someone else. But pretty much you can bankrupt everything else.
Okay.
Chapter 7 lets you walk away from everything.
Wow.
13, you pay people back a percentage of what they owe. Now, it used to be you couldn't keep a house if you did Chapter 7. Now that's not true. If you wipe out the rest of your debt and you can still pay on your house and your car, you can still keep that stuff in Chapter 7.
Okay, so this is interesting. If the IRS has been coming after me and I have a big old debt, I can't bankrupt it.
No.
I still owe the IRS.
Yes.
And somehow they're going to take their pound of flesh, whether it's taking Brady, Wyatt, Gracie, Emma, and Haley away from me.
Hopefully not.
No.
They would put a lien on something.
Not my dogs,
Not your
though.
dogs.
Okay, that's
house,
good.
car, something.
House, car, dogs stay.
Yeah, dogs
Okay,
stay.
well, that's really all that matters.
Yeah.
So, also, and you said student loans. Now, I know a lot of folks who get into really good colleges
Yes.
have a huge student loan debt.
Yes,
Yeah,
that includes
there you
me.
go.
Yes.
And attorneys.
Yes.
But you cannot bankrupt a student loan.
No, you cannot. They will get it back one way or the other. Even if you're on Social Security at some point, they usually get it back.
So they're going to basically chase you down all your life. Is that
As
what
long
you're
as
telling
you're
me?
alive, yes.
Wow. Okay.
So do not co-sign on anybody else's student loans because then it becomes your problem.
Oh, now that's a very good thought. Let's talk about that a little bit. What if we have someone who's a friend or a niece or nephew or somebody who comes into our lives and says,
Or a spouse.
Scary.
Yeah, don't do that.
Scary.
You still don't do it because the debt, it will follow that person for the rest of their life. And even if it was a child, well, I guess a child, my kids aren't quite that old yet. I'll probably sign for my
A
kids.
child is a little different.
Yes, but like if you signed for a spouse and we got divorced, I'm still liable for that debt, and you don't want to do that.
No, obviously.
Yes.
Especially if you don't want them in your life anymore. Why do you want their debt?
Yes.
Exactly. How long is a bankruptcy going to be affecting my credit?
It'll be on your credit for 10 years now.
Really?
But if you try and establish your credit again, get a credit card and use it like you're supposed to, you can actually buy a house or so in a year. Now, unfortunately, I had to file when I got divorced, and I'm now 6 years past my bankruptcy, and I own my home and the building that I'm in. So
Fantastic.
It's possible to do it. It's just you have to work at it.
But that was my next question. Can you get a mortgage at any future time if you have declared bankruptcy? Because that would be a big concern, especially since the buyer's market is so strong
Yes.
right now.
Now your rates will be higher for a while.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, so there are good sides and there are bad sides, and you're going to be compensated for. What if I absolutely am at the end of my rope? I don't know what to do. I don't even have enough money to pay an attorney to declare bankruptcy. Is somebody going to help me get through that without charging an arm and a leg?
Well,
Honestly.
Okay. I charge less than other attorneys because I feel bad that people are doing it. Also, I go really fast. This is me talking slow.
Yes.
I go really fast. So I do
And
my
you've
cases really-
experienced it yourself,
Yes,
so
I've
you have a
yes.
tremendous amount of empathy.
So I am a little less expensive than other attorneys.
But it's generally an expensive thing.
It is.
I see. So basically, the bankruptcy can't bankrupt your fees to your attorney.
No, you have to pay those
You
first.
got to pay those first. Let's talk about if you were married in another state.
Okay.
And this would be a really appropriate question for same-sex couples because there are only a few states where you can actually get
And
married.
actually, I have had that come up, which is why I mentioned it before.
Yeah.
I have a couple who was married in another state.
Yes.
They have filed bankruptcy in this state. We actually had to have multiple hearings on it.
In both states? Or just here? Oh, wow.
Because Kentucky doesn't recognize gay marriages at this point, but up until the Defense of Marriage Act, they would have. Mm-hmm. So that was the issue. So we had hearings and briefs and all that fun stuff that lawyers do. And as of right now, it is pending the Supreme Court ruling. So my guy's case is going forward. So as of right now, they have the only federally recognized gay marriage in the state of Kentucky.
Are you going to get to argue before the Supreme Court?
Actually, only if I lost. And since I haven't lost yet, so...
Wow, that's kind of a conundrum, isn't it? You really want to argue before the
I know.
Supreme Court, but you really don't want to lose your case.
The best case for my clients is that we don't lose. So yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's fantastic. Now, a couple of other quick questions. Your husband and your wife are your typical people who are going to
Yes.
come in and say, we have really run ourselves into a bad situation. We've got thousands of dollars in credit debt. We've got a house. We've bought too many cars. We have paid for our kids to do everything they've ever wanted to do. And now we don't have any money left.
Right.
If they are staying together, are both of them, whether they're both working or not, equally liable for the bankruptcy that they're about to declare?
Since the law changed, pretty much. Because, well, Now, if one of them could qualify for Chapter 7 because they have no income,
Okay.
the other, they may let them off the hook for the bankruptcy because there's nothing to get from them. But generally, they do want you both to come in it because it's joint debt in most cases.
Yeah, because both of you have made the debt, and now both of you have to clear up the debt.
Yes.
Is that the idea?
Yes.
Okay. What do you suggest to people who are thinking about getting into a situation where they have a choice of either doing the whole Dave Ramsey thing
Oh, yes. I know.
and just totally busting themselves down to the red beans and rice and crummy car diet, or walking away from huge amounts of debt?
Well, I think for each person, and that's usually the hardest part is when people decide if they want to file or not. I can't help them with that. That's their choice.
Yes.
Because usually that's the hard part for them. And when it gets to the point that you cannot pay your bills back, I think that's when you should pay it. Like you should go ahead and file bankruptcy. If there's no way you're going to dig yourself out, then there's no reason to put yourself through more stress of trying if it's realistically never going to happen.
What if you have a situation, and this actually just came up not too long ago in a blog that I was reading. What if you have a situation where you've got a compulsive, whatever, a gambler, some sort of an addict who's just spending. They have absolutely no idea where their own money is going, and they suddenly cannot pay their bills. Would they be eligible for bankruptcy, or is an attorney going to look at them and go, "Stop gambling, you idiot"?
Well, they would be, but some of the casinos are suing people to collect their debt, and obviously they're going to keep acquiring the debt. That problem is the problem also.
Amazing.
Now, casinos here haven't been enforcing that, but some of the ones in Vegas are suing people here trying to collect the debt because obviously that's an intentional thing you were doing. You knew you weren't paying that back when you did it.
Frightening. And so I didn't even realize actually that casinos would give you house money to play and that they could sue you for it.
Well,
Why
I guess
haven't
you've
I ever tried that?
You never played, apparently.
Not that kind of money,
No,
man.
when I've gone out there, I've taken out the cash I was going to play with, and that was all. So
Yes, well, I have to do that too, or my best friend takes my Visa card away from me, and I stand
Yes.
in the middle of the casino screaming, "Give me my Visa! I need more money!" No, we're not allowed to go to the casino by ourselves.
No, that would
we
be
must
bad.
have a bodyguard at all times. Well, I'll remember that about you.
Okay.
You take the cash only that you can
Right.
spend. Okay, very good. So
Per day.
you'll never have to worry about bankruptcy again.
hopefully not.
I hope not. What other areas of law can we expect to be talking to you about in the future? Because you've just come on board as a sponsor of Take It From Tara.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
What can we think about as far as really hot topics that are going to be coming up that people are particularly concerned about right now, Shannon?
Well, we also do Social Security, disability.
That's important.
The other attorney in my office does family law, which is always hectic.
Yes.
I do some immigration.
Wow.
We do some traffic tickets, that kind of stuff. So, a little bit of everything.
Oh, by the way, I've got to talk to you about something afterwards. That's good. I think Mark does too.
Yeah, I actually got pulled over last week, too, so that's fine.
Oh, no. Was it a female or a male cop?
It was a male officer who I know.
Does that help or hurt?
Yes, I did not get a ticket.
Oh, well, that's really good.
He said, "Do you look familiar?" I'm like, "Yes, yes, you know me."
Yes, you know me. Okay, good deal. So let's talk about the next time we come on. Let's just plan right now. Let's talk about we talked about bankruptcy. Let's talk about family law.
Okay.
Because that's going to be a really almost painful topic for a lot of people.
Would you like the other attorney in the office then?
No, actually, let's talk about what did you say you were going to handle?
I do Social Security.
Oh, let's do that because the
Okay.
disability question
Yes.
is a big one.
Okay.
Social Security disability is a mystery to me.
Okay.
Because there are people I know who deserve it more than anybody else and who cannot get it. And then I look and see tons of people who actually have it and really don't need it.
Well, you may not see their disability.
I
They
may
be
not.
mentally disabled.
Or I may know that they're not disabled and they're just cheating the government.
Yeah, those are not my clients.
Yeah, that really stinks.
It really does.
So that's a good topic to
yes,
think
we'll
about.
talk about that. But generally, if you have to be being treated to get disability. That's usually a big thing. If they don't have insurance, they can't get treated, and that becomes an issue.
That's a big key.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Where could someone find out more about the bankruptcy issue that we talked about today? Could we contact Favre Law Offices?
Yes, it's also on our website, which is fulverlaw.com.
Okay. And give us a telephone number.
502-569-7710.
And you're neighbors of ours right
yes,
here.
we're just down the street on the avenue.
And a member of the Frankfurt Avenue Business Association.
Yes, and the Louisville Independent Business Association.
Wonderful. Okay, what's the address for the office?
1752 Frankfurt Avenue.
Okay, and you can stop in or you can call and go to the website.
Yes.
It's a very nice website, and there's tons of information on there that's available free of charge.
Yes, and we
which is
put
really
our new
good.
commercials on there, too. We just did that.
There, and you can put this on there too.
I'm going to.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
perfect. I love it. Shannon Favre, thanks for being our legal expert.
Thank you.
Appreciate you
Okay.
so much. Stay put for just
Okay,
a
sir.
second. Kathy Schmidt is coming up from Crescent Hill Trading Company. She's a furniture collector extraordinaire. We want to find out where she finds it. In the meantime, take it from Mark and Dan.
Thank you.
I love everybody. I love
complicated. There's nothing really to explain. 'Cause I love everybody. I love everything. I don't care about the weather. I can take it come rain, come shine. I never feel stuck in a traffic jam or waiting in the checkout line. Nothing gonna get up underneath my skin, stop me when I feel this way. 'Cause I love everybody. I love everything. I love everybody. I love everything.
And we love the Cheaters. Mark Southard and Dan Boone are with us, and we thank them so much for surprising us with two great instrumentalists and a great singer. So we're grateful for you guys being here tonight, and we are expecting to hear a little bit more from you a little later, okay?
Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you. Kathy Schmidt joins us. Hi there.
Hello.
Another esteemed member of the Frankfurt Avenue Business Association.
That's right.
Isn't that how we all know each other, really? Because we're on the Avenue?
We do. We love the Avenue.
We do. And the Avenue has become quite the place to be in the city, and you have been a huge part of that transformative process. So I want to say thank you in advance.
Oh, thank you. You're
And
welcome.
Thank you for the beautiful set decorations, because everything you see behind me is reduced, reused, and recycled from Crescent Hill Trading Company.
That's right.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kathy. Okay, so Kathy is not one to brag on herself, but I happened to be at a FABA meet and greet a couple weeks ago, and she was handed an award, and it's called the A+ Award for Effort.
Yeah.
And it's because she's so instrumental in making people on the Avenue come together. Talk to me a little bit about how the Frankfurt Avenue Business Association has grown just in your tenure since you bought the store.
It has. It'll be 3 years since I've owned the business, and I
Wow.
joined, and I quickly became the secretary. And
That's the worst job always.
Honestly, everybody makes it easy. I'm just one of those joiners and communicators. So our membership has increased. We've got a great website. We've got a FABA presence. FABA, Facebook,
Yes.
social media, Twitter. We're out there.
It is. It's fantastic.
Yeah, we've got new banners coming.
I love that. And, if you go along the Avenue, you see all the great events banners, and we've got an Easter parade coming up.
Oh, yeah.
It's a pretty big deal.
I think it's the 26th annual. Is that right?
It could be.
Or the 21st?
Yeah, it
But
sounds
we've
like
been doing it for a long time, and it's the only one in Louisville, and it's
Yeah.
on the Avenue, and, several appearances by the Easter Bunny. And
It's a lot of fun. One year I was fortunate enough to be selected as the Grand Marshal.
That is
And I
fun.
remember riding in the big horse-drawn carriage, and I had a huge hat on.
a bonnet.
That was this was a hat because it was actually built by the Kentucky Opera designers.
Oh.
And it was a house representing my home show with giant weather symbols coming out the top representing
Oh.
my meteorology. So it was very, very clever, but it weighed about 15 pounds.
That sounds cute.
Needless to say, I needed physical therapy from Dan Boone after I wore the hat in the Easter parade. So, Kathy, talk to us a little bit about your awards for finding all kinds of cool furniture, and where do you go to find the stuff that you haven't? And I got to just do this full disclosure: my house is decorated with stuff from the Crescent Hill Trading Company. I have to tell the truth, and my studio.
Thank you.
So I'm a little prejudiced, but where do you find this stuff?
Well, interestingly, the shop's been around for about 8 or 9 years. I bought it almost 3 years ago, and the woman who owned it before created a great client base. 85% of the stuff comes in the front door.
Wow.
I buy everything. I love to go to estate sales. I rarely go to auctions, but I've got some good pickers. I've got people that stop by before they scrap stuff, and I pay them money, obviously, or decorators who are tired of, maybe their clients are tired of something and they want to get rid of it. They want to recycle. So I buy it, and I have to make a certain markup on it, but it's fun. I never know what is going to come in the door. And right now, I am sitting on some amazing stuff.
Yeah, I bet you are. And I actually have seen some of the top decorators, designers, and home builders in Louisville coming
Yeah.
through the door of Crescent Hill Trading Company, which is a huge compliment.
Oh, yeah. One of them came in today. He goes, "Oh, fabulous." He found a couple of things for a client, and he took it on approval, and it's going to look great.
I love that. You know, these awards that you've received are actually from national publications, and one of them was this thing about the best place to buy furniture in the South. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah.
Go ahead and brag on yourself.
Oh,
just
I
a
will.
little.
I will. I don't know. They called me in November, Southern Living magazine, and I am the shop listed for the state of Kentucky for
That
the
is
best place to go.
amazing.
I know. And I had it. Thank goodness, because January can be a tough month.
Yes.
For retail, and I've gotten people in from, you know, Owensboro, Bowling Green, New York, and
Because they read Southern Living.
they've read it.
And
so.
it's online as well as a paper mag, so that's pretty
Yeah, it
cool.
is.
That's a very large reach that it has on
Oh,
the
I
internet.
love it. Next, I want to get on Country Living, though. That's the
Oh,
one where people
boy.
come in and they go, "Do you have this?" Or we try to recreate. Or Pinterest is, you know,
That's cool.
I mean, I've got a presence on Pinterest,
Yeah.
and that's kind of fun. And I like that younger people grow up with appreciation of older things, and they like decorating with the older, primitive stuff. So
Well, you know what I love? I come into the shop, and I know that Mark and Dan have seen Crescent Hill Trading Company before, but I come into the shop, and there's baskets of people's family pictures.
instant relatives.
I love that. I love picking up a bunch of people's photos and just scattering them around on the table and having people
Yeah.
go, "Who is this?" And I'm like, "That's my Aunt Gertrude." And it's just so much fun to be able
Yeah.
to create
I mean, some
somebody
people-
else's history.
Yeah, some people do get a little sad. They go, "Oh, this is so sad," but in a way, I
No.
feel like we're giving them a second life.
Absolutely,
You
you
know?
are. That's
Yeah.
wonderful. As an officer of the Frankfurt Avenue Business Association, and we said secretary, always the worst job, but you're making it a good one.
Oh, yeah.
You have a great pulse on the avenue. So tell us about the most recent improvement to just say communications between the merchants, because you guys have done a great job getting everybody involved.
Yeah, we've recently purchased a Wild Apricot. It's a database management system, and we do a lot more communication. We've got we always meet almost every Friday morning at the United Crescent Hill Ministries at 8:30 to 9. It's a quick meeting. We just have a pulse on what's going on, you know, what's up, what's the open action items, who wants to do something.
It's a great brainstorming session. I
It
went to one and I
is.
loved it because everybody jumped in and gave their opinions on how things would work.
Yeah. And then once a month, the third Thursday of every month, we meet in the evening and have an evening meet and greet. We're hoping to do more greeting rather than meeting, you know,
Yes.
and just a little more, have a little, you know, glass of wine or cold beer or soft drink, whatever.
Social interaction and networking.
Yeah. And we're having all of those at the Clifton Center. And honestly, anyone can join FABA or become a friend of FABA. You don't have to own a business. You can just support our mission.
Yes.
Support, we pay for all the trolleys that go up and down the avenue on the last Friday of every month, called the Fat Friday.
Wonderful.
We pay for those. The Easter Parade, as Tara mentioned. Help me out here.
The Santa Sprint and
Santa
Stroll and the Pat
Sprint,
Walk at Christmas, which
the
is
old
awesome.
time Christmas, yes.
The old time 4th of July.
Yeah, and then we've also got something else. We're going to have a food truck and sidewalk sale coming up.
Awesome.
And most importantly, we've got over maybe about 60% of the businesses that are members of Frankfurt Avenue Business Association are owned and managed by women.
I like that
Yeah.
a lot. And one of them is Crescent Hill Radio.
That's right.
And Kathy had an awesome idea, and we kicked this to you at the meet and greet. We want to broadcast the Easter Parade live
I know.
from the Irish Rover, which is the VIP section.
Yes.
And just make it such a cool, fun thing, because then everybody who's not able to be on the avenue, such as maybe some of the folks at Sacred Heart Village, can get that live feeling. And,
Yeah.
and I'm going to be the one describing it. And you know, my imagination is endless.
You do a wonderful job.
Well, I'm
dear.
going to be really describing that Easter
Oh,
Parade.
we can't wait.
I think
we
it'll
are
be
looking
so
forward
much
to it.
fun.
One more thing I want to mention.
Yeah.
March 8th, Friday.
Yeah.
This is still developing. I just told you that. The women that work the avenue.
Yeah.
Women who work the avenue.
Actually, you didn't finish telling me because I
didn't.
interrupted you.
Oh, that's okay.
So go
but
ahead.
anyway, we're planning to have some activism, some films at the Clifton Center. It's still in the works. But
That sounds
we're
great.
So happy.
So women business owners really come and join the fun. And, you know, I think the fact that we've kind of rebranded our area of town, we're now just calling it the Avenue.
The Avenue.
It's very cool. On the Avenue.
6th Avenue.
You know that song?
I do not.
It's the Easter Parade song, Mark. It's not Neil Young. He doesn't know it. No, anyway, the Avenue is
Judy
the
Garland.
new, the new brand
too.
for the Easter Parade, and it's actually working out really well because people have seen those beautiful black trifold maps that you guys have
Right.
created, and it's like a New York City map.
That's right. And our avenue goes from Shelbyville Road in St. Matthews all the way down to River Road.
That's right.
And the concierges at all the hotels tell us the easiest way to send them is up River Road and up Frankfurt Avenue.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
I love it. Thank
I
you so
know.
much for
You're
being with us
welcome.
today. We really appreciate you. Kathy Schmidt, A-plus award winner and the winner of the best place to shop for furniture in the South from Southern Living Magazine. Drop into Crescent Hill Trading Company anytime.
And see our dog Jackie.
And see Jackie, who's our favorite little monkey.
She
And
wanted to come today, but I told her she couldn't.
by the way, I was sitting in Heine Brothers one day, and I think you know this, and I look out on the sidewalk, and there is Jackie, the little black and white Jackie Russell. And she just decided to wander up to Heine Brothers, which is a half a block away at the little stinker. So I ran out and chased her back to the store.
A lot of times people just say, go home.
Yeah,
And she does.
She does, thank God. She's a
know.
little desperate there. She wanted to get out and enjoy some fun on the avenue.
She knew there might be some treats.
Yeah, there always are. Thanks for being with us
Thanks,
today.
Tara.
Stop and see Kathy at Crescent Hill Trading Company. It's right behind Carmichael's Books on Bailey, South Bailey, and you can't miss it. She's got all kinds of cool stuff displayed.
Open 7 days a week.
She works hard. And what's the number there?
502-896-6110.
Big
And
Facebook presence.
yes,
too.
and we're on Facebook.
Wonderful.
Just been tweeting lately, too.
Oh, good. Kathy Schmidt, thanks for being with us today. We're going to take just a few seconds before the milk is brought out and the cookies are brought in. Laura Tucker is in the house, the CEO of Kentuckiana Girl Scouts, and she has brought the cookies in the meantime. Cree and Hetty, you're the best jingle singers I know. Let's play that one more time so we can hear just how great you are.
So much going on in this town. We're so lucky to have an expert around. But when you need advice on what's really going down, take it from Tara. With so many choices, it ain't easy. Get the bank for your buck, give your dollar a squeezy. The girl's got the answer, you better believe me. Take it from Tara. Take it from Tara. Take it from Tara. Take it from Tara.
Whoa, the glory of true love is a wild and precious thing. It don't grow on old magnolias, only blossom in the spring. No, the glory of true love, it will last your whole life through. Never will go out of fashion, always will look good on you. You can climb the highest mountain, touch the moon and stars above, but Old Faithful's just a fountain compared to the glory of true love. Long before I met you, darling, but I thought I had it all. Could I had my lunch in London and my dinner in St. Paul. Got some friends in Albuquerque, where the governor calls me Gov. You can give it all to Goodwill for the glory of true love. You can climb the highest mountain, touch the moon and stars above. But Old Faithful's just a fountain compared to the glory of true love. Okay, Dan. Glory, 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 glory. You can never get enough. Time alone will tell the story of the glory of true love.
The Cheaters, ladies and gentlemen, Mark Southard and Dan Boone. What a great sound they have, playing old music that we love. And I love the fact that they can play in and out of all of my guests and give us plenty of musical opportunities. Thank you, guys.
You're welcome.
Laura Tucker joins us, known to her friends as Colonel because she really is one, retired from the U.S. Army and is now CEO of the Girl Scouts of Kentuckiana. What a perfect position for you to continue to provide leadership, especially to the young women of Kentuckiana. Thank you.
You're welcome. I love my job every single day.
I bet you do, and you do it well.
Have I said that? I love my job.
I love my job, too. I actually just blogged about the fact that I love being able to get up and think about doing a Crescent Hill radio show with a group of fantastic people, wonderful guests, fabulous musicians, and it's my dream come true.
And do not forget about that fabulous jingle.
I know!
I'm going to have that in my brain all week long.
Remember that. Every time one of my friends, Marina Dervin, sees me, she starts singing, "Take it from Tara."
I know. Is it Take It From Tara?
It's good. Hey, listen to her. You should play with Laura.
Come on.
My gosh.
I love that.
What am I going to do to get that out of my head?
We'll give you another song.
Okay, all right.
See, yeah, my friend
All right.
Susan Sweeney Crum and I used to sit next to each other on the set at 41, and we would give her a song just to irritate her. It would be something awful, like a Christmas song. And then she'd say, "I can't get it out of my head." So then we would generously give her another song, and sooner or later she'd forget the Christmas song.
So the truth is you're evil.
Yes, there's no doubt about that whatsoever. So, Laura, what I really want to talk to you about, and there are so many things I could talk to you about, but you brought in Girl Scout cookies.
I did.
Hey, Julian, can you come in for just a second? Come on in the studio. I've got my intern from BKI. I might as well put him to work. Would you just move that little chair, that little stool with the cookies over here? He's also our next guest because he's moved up from intern to guest. Thank you, Julian. I appreciate that so much.
I do want you to
Perfect.
notice,
Beautiful.
Tara,
Thank you, dear.
that the packaging has changed for the first time in 13 years.
Wow.
So the packaging actually highlights a girl and the great things they're doing in their community,
Well,
as
that's pretty
well
good.
as the 5 things that girls learn when they participate in the cookie program.
Goal setting, decision making, money management, people skills, and business ethics.
Can you imagine business ethics?
I love that.
Yeah, too bad adults don't learn business ethics.
It's because they're not
We
too
should
many
have a
adults
show
in the
on
Girl
that.
Scouts, right? Yes, you're absolutely right. We should.
We should.
So I love the fact that it features a girl, number one, and number two has all of these wonderful thoughts that you can develop skills through selling cookies. And, you know, I was not fortunately in Girl Scouts, but I did a lot of sales of candy for my little Catholic school. So I did learn a lot of these things from selling candy. Now, tell me about the merit badges that are earned in the process of the sale of cookies.
No, isn't that cute too on the back?
Yeah, I'm
The
thinking those
cookie
are the
has
ones
a
that I
little
like.
sash on it.
Let me
Oh,
have
you like the
that.
trefoils.
Yeah, let me have here. You
Hey,
have that
speaking
one.
of that, you missed desserts first Thursday. Where
I
were
know,
you? I was
and
looking for you.
Really, really, really wanted to come to that, but I also am in the Vagina Monologues at University of
That's
Louisville
right.
for V-Day,
Congratulations.
the 14th, 15th, and 16th, and I was in rehearsal.
I'll be there. I can't wait.
Oh, good!
I can't
That'll
wait
be
to
so
hear
much
you.
fun. And so that's where I was, but I'm ripping these open because I think the boys probably have worked up quite an appetite. Here, Mark, have a cookie.
Trefoil,
Pass one over to Dan.
shortbread.
And I just am going to taste. I have to do a QC.
All right.
Okay. What do you think, guys? Oh my gosh,
Yummy.
that is delicious. I'm not only learning about business ethics. I'm learning about sugar, more sugar,
Nice.
more sugar,
In
I love
moderation.
these. Yeah, it's
Girl
good.
Scout
I won't
cookies in
eat the whole box,
moderation.
and I will share it with the production crew. Kathy's nodding her head. Yes, yes, yes. The cookies are actually on sale now, right?
They
we
are.
taking orders?
Girls are selling right now as we speak, and booths pick up, I believe it's February 17th through March 22nd. That's when you can find your friendly troops in front of Walmart's, Costco's, Sam's Clubs, things
Kroger.
like that. And if you are looking for that 0-calorie cookie, which
No.
many of us are, you can purchase cookies and we'll send them to our troops in Afghanistan. And that is such an awesome thing because I have been deployed and received Girl Scout cookies, and there's nothing like that taste of home coming from the United States. So
That's a fantastic
send
idea.
cookies to the troops if
Yeah.
you don't want to eat them yourself.
You totally led me on because I really believe there was a 0-calorie cookie.
Sorry.
Oh man! But to send it to our troops is the greatest gift that you could give them.
It is. It's
what a great
awesome.
feeling of home too.
I know. Taste of home.
Let's talk about you just a little bit. We can't do all Girl Scouts.
Okay.
You were just telling Julian, the intern, who is no longer an intern but a guest.
I know. Isn't he awesome?
He is awesome.
His second inaugural.
I know. We're going to talk about that in a minute. You were just telling him, though, about your experience being at the Pentagon on 9/11 and coming to work to find the place in flames.
Well, I was actually in Crystal City when the first plane hit that first tower, and as everybody else, everybody was watching TV, right? And then you say, "God, what idiot! Hit the tower! How could that have happened?"
Somebody got lost.
Right, somebody got lost, right? And then when the second tower was hit, we knew something was going on, and then we started receiving all this information. I had a meeting at the Pentagon, so I immediately started, walking over to the Pentagon, and that's when the Pentagon was hit. It flew right over my house, my neighborhood, and that was, one of those days you'll always remember the rest of your life as you see the Pentagon fall in on itself.
Incredible.
Yeah.
And you lost a lot of friends in that, too.
I did. We lost, we lost a boy from Moorhead, Kentucky, too.
Wow.
He was in the Navy.
Incredible.
But, the interesting thing there, too, about probably not as many people that would have gotten killed didn't, because that section of the Pentagon had actually been renovated.
Oh, my gosh.
And it had the super duper, reinforcement. So it really kept the explosion contained, believe it or not.
Amazing.
And those people had just moved back in that week.
Isn't that incredible?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, that is just a tiny little piece of Laura Tucker's history.
Yeah.
I could literally have you on for an hour to talk about everything that you've done. And I think one of the coolest things is that you have really translated the leadership role that you had as a colonel in the U.S. Army into your work with the Girl Scouts. So talk to me a little bit about some of the programs that really you love to put on for the girls of Girl Scouts of Kentuckiana.
Well, Girl Scouting has really changed since I was a girl. Girl Scout is about building girls of courage and confidence and character who make the world a better place. What a wonderful job. Have I told you that I love my job every day?
I think you have, but I'd love to hear you say it.
Yeah, Girl Scouts USA right now, they're doing a campaign. It's called To Get Her There. And it is one of the boldest advocacy campaigns, I think, in the Girl Scout history, where the goal is that we will, in one generation, change the leadership balance of this country. I don't know if you've noticed, but when you take a look at leadership in this country, whether it's Congress, CEOs of organizations, hedge fund, when you look at the financial markets,
Women business owners on Frankfurt Avenue.
women business
Yep,
owners.
exactly.
Women are 52% of this population, and yet they make up very little of the leadership. So we're on a mission. We're on a mission to grow girls into leaders,
I love that. Together
to get her there,
to get her there.
which is together.
Yes.
Right? There. So to get her there.
To get her there.
That's
I
right.
love it. Now, I remember other campaigns that have been done similar to this where you've had famous people speaking those words and saying how they're going to get her there. How can we implement that? Because I would like to do one.
Well, I think that we have to have really serious conversations in our community. It is
Yes.
a collaborative, and we all know that, kind of like raising the dogs, right?
Yes, it is.
Raising kids.
Yes, it is.
It takes a village.
It does.
And we all have to be a part of that. And Girl Scouting is the premier leadership organization for girls in the country, and where we girls discover, connect, and take action. So everything that girls do, and besides have fun, has a leadership outcome component to it.
And girls just want to have fun, but they want to do a lot of other things
That's
as well.
right. Absolutely.
I appreciate you bringing the Girl Scout cookies, and if you have to take most of them back, it's okay. But would
I'm
you leave
leaving
these?
them here. Nope, I'm leaving them all
goody.
here.
I love that. Yeah, Mark's happy about that. And would you just plan right now, coming back another time, and let's talk about what else we can do to get the word out about the benefits of Girl Scouts, because I've been privileged to come and talk to some of your groups, and I absolutely love what you guys do.
I would love to, and I love your show.
Thank you very much. We appreciate that endorsement.
I personally think you should be on every single day of the week.
Did you tell me that you loved your job and you love our show?
Yes, I love your show.
That's great. Colonel Laura Tucker has just endorsed Take It From Tara, Alert the Media.
Cool.
Thanks for being with us
Thanks,
today.
Tara.
Appreciate it, Laura.
Take it from Tara.
Very good. And she's got a beautiful standard poodle named Boo. So
I
hi,
do.
Boo. I'm glad you're listening.
Hi, Boodos.
I'm sure you're watching Mommy on the Ustream. Good job. Thanks for the cookies, Laura. We'll talk to you soon. And
Thanks,
just
Tara.
coming up in a few minutes, intern Julian Wright back from his second presidential inauguration as a fully certified member of the press. I love it. Mark and Dan, play Julian in.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
There's a big yellow moon rising up over them old hills. Big yellow moon rising up over them old hills. There's a big yellow moon rising over the hill. My baby's on a tear and she's fit to kill. Big yellow moon rising up over them old hills. Devil's in the jukebox jumping on the rhythm and blues. Devil's in the jukebox jumping on the rhythm and blues. There's a devil in the jukebox jumping on the rhythm. Folks say you gotta take what you've given. Devil's in the jukebox jumping on a rhythm and blues.
Song out of them before we let them go, but I love having people follow me around, and every time I speak they play under me, and every time I stop speaking they just fill up the air. That's great. It's like a reality show, isn't it?
It is. This is our first reality.
It is our first reality. I'm still clinging desperately to the trefoils. I suppose I'm going to have to share them with everybody else, but the first I'd like to share them with is my dear friend, and so delighted to see him after too long.
Oh, reunited.
Julian
and it feels
Wright.
So good.
The only people who are really going to be sad that they're not here with us are Becca and Erica.
I know. I feel bad.
Becca White, co-host of Louisville Live, Erica Benton, producer of Louisville Live, and the four of us had quite a time together.
The time of our lives.
Yes, we did. I had the time of my life.
All these songs today. I don't know.
I
what to do with you. I know.
I can't believe it. I should get Laura Tucker back in here to sing that song, because
Probably
she
so.
did Take It From Tara so well. Okay, so Julian, you're wearing a Columbia sweatshirt for a specific reason.
I am. And
Break the news to us.
After years of trying to get in and preparing myself, I got my acceptance letter December the 6th.
Woohoo! Julian Wright is going to Columbia.
One of those 6.9% of people who get in.
That's
I
incredible.
think there are like 33,000 applicants. And
I'm not a least bit surprised.
so
If anyone could do it, it would
I'm
be
really
you.
excited. I'm really pumped. And I owe a lot of it to you all. So
Well, I'll
that
tell you
was-
to the group of people, because I remember one day we had the privilege of going to Manual.
Manual.
Better not say
Yeah,
that.
nope.
Kill me now. Going to Manual and speaking to the principal, because
Mr. Woodard,
we
yeah.
wanted Julian to do a little bit more. We wanted him to be in a position of an internship that was more than we would have ever offered any high school student, but he was so capable.
And that was the first thing on my list of extracurriculars. So
And we loved everything that you did, and you actually went on the air and did the Balloon Glow coverage, live
did.
coverage with us.
Some good
and
experiences.
So much more.
I know.
And it was just, we just kept saying, how is this kid so mature? And I want to know what you attribute your maturity to.
I think, I look back and I have no idea, because I look at the way I've grown up, and my parents always instilled in me that, you do well and you try to be as best as you could be. But honestly, I think when it comes down to doing stuff like that, it's because people like you all trusted me more than I trusted myself.
Amazing.
So then I was forced to, go above and beyond what I normally could do. And, when you're on air, you're on air. When it's live, it's live. So
You're absolutely right. And there is no such thing as a dead microphone or a dead camera.
it's true.
So we learn the hard
Yeah,
way
we do,
sometimes. Someday I'll tell you what the famous Kathy Lincoln said to me the first time I went on the air.
Oh, gosh.
About Tara, when the red light goes on, We don't say.
Yeah. There we go. No, leave it there. All right.
So tell us a little bit about your trip to Washington, because this is the second experience you've had covering the presidential inauguration, and it happens to be the same guy both times, right?
It was, thankfully.
Pretty cool.
That was the first. That was our. That was the wrap up of our election coverage. We had covered the first debate in Denver. We flew out there to see him, get off of Air Force One, and then go head to head with Mitt Romney on DU's campus. We went from there to rallies in Cincinnati, and we covered them really all across the country. So basically, this past year election season, I was really, really busy.
And tell me who it is that you are representing as you say we were doing all of this.
DuPont Mano High School.
Yeah, the high school.
Our news website, manoredeye.com.
Yeah.
We try to keep everything updated.
So
that
did.
was my main focus this past fall. So on November the 6th, when he won, we went up to Chicago, and we covered the election night rally at McCormick Center.
Incredible.
So we were there for that whole fiasco, especially as the polls were coming in slowly through the night, and he came out and spoke, and that was a long night. I think we finally got back in the hotel around 2 o'clock in the morning.
I'm sure.
So the inauguration was our last big thing before we get all geared up for 2016, which I hate to say already, but
I know.
It was my second time, and it was a bit different. This in 2009, I was actually outside in the cold, and it was freezing.
And this time,
I was inside the museum.
wow.
With
Who were you there with?
Oh,
Come on, tell us.
There was CNN there, MSNBC
Drop some names.
there, BET there, Diane Sawyer.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I know.
Still
Yeah.
haven't met Diane Sawyer.
So, yeah, the inauguration
Can I touch you?
was. Yes, you can.
Did you talk to her?
I did.
Did
We
you
talked.
touch her?
I touched her
Holy
with this
smoke,
hand, I
I'm
think.
touching
So
someone
you
who touched
never
Diane
touch it
Sawyer.
again.
I
Yeah.
love it. I'll never wash it again.
So, actually, the inauguration was on a Monday, and the Sunday before the inauguration, I was at the museum where her and George Stephanopoulos were doing their pre-election coverage, and
Cool.
I emailed her because I saw her there, and I was like, "Hey, Diane,
Hey, Diane.
we're from Louisville." Yeah,
It's
yeah.
Julian. Hey, Diane. It's Julian. Can you and Anderson and I get together for some coffee a little bit
That'd be
later?
another name.
Yeah,
So,
Anderson Cooper.
yeah. So,
Wow.
She messaged me back, and she was like, "Yeah, come on down." And then we met and talked for a while. And then Monday, she was like, "Well, I'll be here. Just email me when you get here." So I emailed her, and I went up to the 8th floor of the museum. And
Wow.
was up there. CNN, MSNBC, CBS, Fox,
Amazing.
ABC. They're all broadcasting.
Soledad O'Brien?
Soledad O'Brien, yeah. Her and Anderson Cooper, I emailed them on Monday on the actual inauguration, and just to see where they were at, and they both emailed me back, and they were like, "I'm on the air from this time to this time. Come by and stop by."
Okay, so Anderson had him come back to the dressing room
yeah, back in March of last year.
and sit and chat
Yeah.
and took him on a tour and
Of
took him to
CNN.
his broadcast,
Yeah.
and you guys have become BFFs.
Basically,
That's
I
pretty
hate
darn
to-
cool.
Yeah, so
You hate to brag, I know.
I hate to brag, but I'm pretty excited about it. But yeah, we
You
met.
should be, 'cause those are great
We met a long
connections.
time ago, and I guess he found some interest in me. I
In a
guess that's-
galaxy far, far away.
Far, far away.
But you know what, Julian? When you meet someone who is where you want to be, that's how you get there.
Basically.
So you're going to probably do an internship for Anderson Cooper.
Yes, we talked about doing an internship, and he talked about getting into Columbia way before I even got into Columbia.
And he's a Yaley.
And he went to political science. He did study political science at Yale. And
Isn't
of
that
course,
amazing?
That's the kind of connections you get when you're in Vanderbilt. so.
Yes, of course. That's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
So have we met Mommy yet?
No,
Too bad,
no.
right?
I want to. Maybe next year. We'll see.
Maybe he'll adopt you.
Maybe she'll buy me some jeans.
Maybe
I don't
he'll
know.
adopt you, and then we can get married.
Maybe is that the plan? That's a lot
Oh,
of.
it's a terrible thing to
That's a
say.
lot of
Julian's old
lines
enough to be
drawn.
my grandchild. Just kidding.
No.
You know what's interesting is when you were doing your internship, you were writing columns in the newspaper,
Yes.
which is now an online publication, obviously. But you were doing DuPont Manual News.
Yes.
And you were stirring the pot a little bit.
Oh, we've stirred the pot so many times.
Yeah. What have you stirred the pot recently about?
Oh,
You've gotten people a little upset with you sometimes for some news coverage for things that you guys have uncovered that nobody really wanted the public to know about
let's
outside
see.
of Manual. And if you can't remember because
there
you're
was a little
trying
incident
not to
in the
remember,
park.
that's okay.
There was a little incident in the park with a student and a teacher that got some heads turned. Terry Miner, I think, had a vendetta out against me after we edited that. But that was a big story. It basically involved a teacher being found in the park with a student, and they were
Inappropriate.
and they were doing some things that who knows to this day. But we edited a story and we wrote a story about that. It turns out that our principal surprisingly didn't want that on the paper.
Amazing.
And he tried to block it, and from then we took the battle to the SPLC, the Student Press Law Center, which is a great organization based in Virginia, I think, and they helped us out, and finally we were able to publish it, and that was a huge mess.
This is why he's going to be Anderson Cooper's intern and probably replace Diane Sawyer.
Oh,
guys.
I don't know how I can do that. She's a legend.
She is a legend, but legends die.
Legends do die.
Sorry about that. You got a few more years to.
Grim.
Yeah, but you've got a few more years than she does to continue.
A few more.
A few more
Maybe
than
2 or
me
3.
too. I mean, good Lord.
I don't think so.
So, Julian, you have a baby brother or
Yes,
sister?
brother.
Yeah, I remember. And how old is the baby now?
2 now.
2-year-old brother.
Yeah.
How does that feel? Are you going to miss him when you go to college?
Maybe. We'll see. The funny thing is his name's Anderson, and I get a lot of people at school who ask me about Anderson, so every time they ask me, I have to, say which one, Big Anderson or Little Anderson, because they're like, have you talked to him lately, or what are you doing? And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about.
And you probably convinced your parents to name the baby after him, didn't you?
I did. Luckily,
I thought so.
Luckily, I have a great-great-grandfather who's named Anderson.
Okay, that's really
so
good.
It kind of works, so when they get asked about it, they don't have to be like, well, my son is in love with Anderson Cooper, so they convince me to, so it's a little less awkward.
I'm in love with Anderson Cooper, too, so we are good friends.
There
I
we
love
go.
that. Little
feel
fist
that.
bump. So if you have another huge opportunity ahead of you between now and the time you go to Columbia, let me ask you what decision you would make. If someone actually offered you a job in the media reporting, and you had to choose between doing that and going to school, what would you do?
Oh, I'd go to school.
No question about it. No hesitation.
I'd go to school. Yeah.
Okay. Why is that degree so important to you?
I come from a family of educators. My mom, my dad, my grandmother, my grandfather, my great-grandmother, my great-grandfather, and it stretches back far, far beyond that. So I think for me, opportunities can come and go, but once you have your education, once you have that basis, a mind is a terrible thing to waste.
Yes, it is.
So once you get that sort of basic level understanding and knowledge, then everything can grow from that, because impulsive opportunities, like I said, will come and go, but 4 years in New York at Columbia at an Ivy League university, who knows where that can end me, which could be, way better than the opportunity that was first put in front of me in the first place.
Guys, you out there, you see why I wanted to have this young man on this radio show. He's amazing. Julian Wright, so proud of him, so happy that we could be reunited after way too long. And stick around. Yeah, it feels so good. Woo, love it.
Reunited, just the way
understood. Oh,
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know the rest.
Play it. It's too new. So Julian Wright, and we're going to keep up with you, young man. You can see him on Facebook. See the work he does for DuPont Manual on the online news, and we thank you for taking time from your busy schedule.
Thank you
to
for
come
having
and
me.
chat with us.
And nice to see you again.
We will have coffee and get Beck and Erica together. Okay.
I know they're jealous right now.
Yes, they are. Thank you very much, Julian. Mark and Dan, give us just another little tune, because I just have to hear one more song from the Cheaters before we segue out today. Will you do it?
All righty.
Hit it.
I find it hard sometimes to say the way that I feel. I do the very things I hate to do. I act like a child and I'm afraid of what is real, so I try to cover up the truth. Stumble like a drunk along this crazy path I walk. I have 100,000 questions too. I'll go to any length to prove that nothing is my fault. Later on I will deny the truth. Deny the truth. I don't like to win, but then again I hate to lose. And in between is something I can't stand. I don't care what you think, and I hope that you approve. I'm just an ordinary man.
We want to thank our guests Laura Tucker, Shannon Favre, attorney Julian Wright, and Kathy Schmidt and Mark Southard and Dan Boone. Fabulous music from the Cheaters. Next Monday, author Alana Nash Marta Miranda of the Center for the Women and Families, the producer and director of the Vagina Monologues, coming up at U of L for V-Day, and the music of Sentimental Journey. We'll see you next Monday live at 5 p.m. on Take It From Tara. And we once again thank Carla Wallace for promoting an active dog and supporting Take It From Tara. Mark Baroni is on a mission. The artist is well on his way to painting the portraits of 5,500 dogs who have been euthanized in shelters across America as a way to symbolize the number of dogs who lose their lives in shelters every single day. Mark and his partner Marina Dervin have dedicated their lives to creating an active dog, and we invite you to see this incredibly poignant exhibit with us on February 7th, 5 to 7 p.m. at Melwood Arts Center, 1860 Melwood Avenue. Find out how you can support the permanent installation of an active dog in Louisville, sponsored by Carla Wallace.
Going on in this town. We're so lucky to have an expert around. But when you need advice on what's really going down, take it from Tara. With so many choices, it ain't easy. Get the bang for your buck, give your dollar